Hello guys, very good evening. Today is August 8th and this is another session of our daily recaps and teachings. So alright guys, today our teaching will be again on how to play the reversal on the SPY, how to play the reversal on with using the EMA clouds, and then we will talk about our wicks as well. I did make a video on wicks last week. We talked about when we traded wicks to short. So we traded the wicks to short the market, and now we will show you how to long. I will show what was the strategy, how we played the reversal for nice 100% trade on our options to end the day. So that will be our teaching that comes later. But first we will discuss what trades we did today. First of all, guys, 1 second here. If you are not following, please. Hold on. Okay, not here. 1 second. We have this request here. Let me show you. Please follow our Tenant Trade account on Twitter. It's a verified organization, verified by Twitter. So a lot of content will be posted there for everyone, and a lot of content, future discounts, coupons, webinars. All the information would be posted there, so please follow. I will put the link here in the video, so please give a follow. Thank you. So anyways, moving back to our trades today, guys, this was the other thing tip I want to give you is make sure you see, especially for the large cap traders, make sure you see the heat map. So this is a heat map. So what is heat map? Heat map is for S&P 500 stocks, which tells us which stock is moving more, which is red, which sector is red, which sector is green. So as you see, healthcare, Lilly, which was one of our trades today, was the green, right? And energy was green. Tech was red. Microsoft was a leading loser. Banks were red. Leading loser was JPM, and then consumer cyclic, and then communication services. So using a heat map, it's very important. You can go on Finviz for a heat map. Your broker usually has a heat map, so always use it. Sometimes what I do is I open the heat map right in the morning, first 10 minutes of the morning, and when I see some sector strong, like the whole sector green, and something in the sector is the strongest, then that's the long, right? And if the market is red whole day, find what is the weakest sector, short the weakest stock in the weakest sector. So that's a nice little tip for you before we start our recap. So let's go back. So we had our August 8 watch list ready this morning. A lot of things were moving. As always, I posted the details of what names we are going to look at, just the overall picture of small caps, large caps we were looking at. The one I didn't really focus first initially in the drug, that was a big mover today. From the small caps, that was a big mover. From the small cap short, I did not really pick anything, but from the big cap positive news, CHGG was on my watch list, Lilly was on my watch list from here. So these two were on my watch list, and then I had some short trades on my watch list as well. I was watching this AWX for short, but it reclaimed cloud, so I did not do anything on them, did not trade anything. So that was the watch list, and then we looked at the volume movers. This is a little small, you can't see, but let's see. Yeah, we looked at these earning plays. So Palantir, UPS, Lilly. So we basically reviewed what's going on, why it's down, why is it up, and then we see the gappers, up gap ups, gap downs, how much the volume is, what's the news. So we combine everything, and then we come up with our watch list. And then you can see my watch list was ready here. Let's not Bitcoin plays, it's August 8 watch list. And not only that, then we go to our market. We marked our levels, right before the market opened. We were ready. So my initial commentary was that about the wicks and the QQQ and the SPY. That was my commentary in the morning. We drew our SPY levels 449, 449, 446.50, and the QQ 371.50 and 374. Then our VIX levels, which we will talk about later. You see 1740 breakout and 16 support, and later I talked about 18 level as well. So we were ready for the day starts, which was D-Dog. D-Dog was another gapping down. Personally, I was not really that interested in D-Dog. I was interested in the similar names which were gapping down. So this is another concept, guys. It happens a lot of time. One stock in a sector gets really badly beaten up, and then the other names in the sector, this one specifically was the cloud names. This was the cloud name, and the SaaS names, that was gapping down, and that led to other names like MDB, Team, and you know, the whole section of the peers. Always know what are the peers. They were down too because D-Dog was down. But my focus on D-Dog was MDB. So by the way, I was on voice 15 minutes before open. I discussed all of them. Right, so MDB was on my watch list. I haven't mentioned on the voice. MDB can bounce versus PM lows, just gapping down with D-Dog. So I have the idea, and you have to see if it's holding. Take the long starter, add more if it pushes, and then, you know, quick scalp to 388, and from 371 to 388 quick scalp, and rejected 34.50. At that time it's 10 a.m. you get out, right? 10 a.m. concept. So I'll talk about that. Anyways, so Beyond and Lilly were on the watch list. UPST I was also watching for the continuation the fade. So Lilly, I talked about the wall that this was the today's A1 setup. Lilly was the today's A1 setup. It's the same setup, guys. If you watch my videos religiously, this was the same setup as before, as CAT. All-time highs, no resistance, 10 a.m. push, right? I'll show you how we traded it. But we had NVEX on our watch list. Did not trade anything. I was watching for 34.50. If it pushes or not, although it was a good fade under 34.50, but I did not take it. But it was on our watch list. Apple, at the open we were watching. If it holds the EMA Cloud, maybe we will long it. So we both had 180C if it holds, and then 178P if it fails, right at 10 a.m. So those were on the watch list. If you see Apple 1, 2, 3, right, the bounce was at 10 a.m. and pre-market lows, and we talked about it. I talked about it later. I'll show you the commentary. But let's talk about our big play of the day, Lilly. So Lilly, already talked on the voice. Then I said ATH breakout setup watch, all-time high breakout setup watch. And I'm very proud of a lot of my followers, students who were already in this trade because they knew my old teachings from CAT and all those stocks, and they were already there. So we were watching and Netflix for the pullback to 34.50, and you know, we were giving time for market to stabilize, to see what direction we take. And MDGL was short watch for me right at open. Right at open, it was short watch for me. Did not get any entry, but you know, since that short watch faded to 155 and 10 a.m. bounce, was a good scalp if somebody took it. So yeah, so talking about Lilly, same setup, guys. So I was looking for options, but options were very spready. For 520C was the one that I was looking for, right? So that's what I took. And you know, but for new traders, they usually slap and they usually don't know how to size these options. So that's why I specifically mentioned that options are very spready. So then we had our SPY levels. We'll talk about SPY later. Then CHGG from my watch list started breaking the EMA clouds, right? So CHGG started breaking EMA clouds. CHGG was a short, and I mentioned on the voice, and then I was watching the CHGG short on any bounce as well after first 10-15 minutes right here. After 10 minutes and like 15 minutes, the CHGG was short. I always say short on the bounce because I don't want people to just hit and just stop out over the EMA clouds. But CHGG was nice trade, nice gap fill trade all day check faded from 1150 entry, gave us $1 per share short. Beautiful, right? So now what happened? What other trade did we take, right? So Lilly, I was guiding that next is 520. So you already saw our check short, but Lilly was the one where the options went from $6 to $20, right? So you don't have to take 10 contracts, guys. Even one contract of $6 was more than enough on a small account to turn your 600 into 1,000 or 1,200, whatever you want, right? So we think it's too expensive, but taking one contract or two contract is not expensive unless your account is really small. And at that point, guys, it's, you know, you just need to learn. And, you know, because when your account is that small, when your account is, you know, 1,000 or 500, at that time it's all about learning. You need to have your stable job, stable income, so that you can save some more money to you know, to grow. Because when the small account really limits you, the things you can do or things you can trade, not to discourage anyone, right? But if you can grow the 1,000 to 3,000, then yes, you can grow 10,000 to 30,000. But small account does limit you sometimes, because if you only have $1,000, you can't take one contract, because if contract pulls back, you stop out half 50%, and then your half, say 30% of your account is gone. So for those guys, I mean, like the 550 was $1, I think, but that's again too much risk. That's lotto risk, 100 risk. So but anyway, so that was my point why I was mentioning those Lilly contracts. So Lilly was right. My target was 540, and you know, I was like, keep holding. And then 520C got doubled up, and Lilly at 850 right to the 10 a.m. I always say take 10 a.m. profits, take 10 a.m. profits. You can always re-add. So we took the Lilly, some of the Lilly off, and then check guy was, you know, giving the guidance, should be full gap down, just like I showed you. So let's see what. And then Lilly I logged some more at first 10:15 a.m. and then rest I kept for 540. When it did not hit, then it started to failing. Then I got out at 526, 27 area, because I said it will pull back to 3450, and that's what it did. It pulled back to 3450. So Lilly, great trade, 505 to 538, full guidance. I hope everyone executed. I know most of them did. And what was our next trade? Next trade was Tesla. We tried to short Tesla, right? We were profitable on Tesla. But then it started to hold a level, and then we bailed, right? Let me show you what did we do on Tesla. So Tesla, let's see. Okay, let me just search. Okay, so Tesla, my pivot was this 248 area. As long as that was failing, I was short. But I also said only add more short if 246 fail, right? So we were short, the 246 failed, we added more, right? So the average was somewhere here, but then it started going up, right? You know, I said 10 a.m. covers. It hit 245, so I covered a little bit, but then bounced back. You know, I kind of closed the position scratch there, right? But I told people to cover it, because once EMA clouds are overtaken, then it can keep going. And I know people wanted 250 stops, and somebody stopped at 250 and the stock pulled back, and you know, then it was just a chop. So MDB was a nice push, guys. As I mentioned, it was a nice push. Tesla showed if 248 fails and 246 confirms. 245p was on watch list. Keep eye on QQQ. At the same time, we were tracking NASDAQ. Yeah. Okay, Apple got heavy. Check short was the bounce. Netflix, I saw that its market is weak, so I canceled that idea. But we want to talk about Tesla. By 10 a.m. Tesla short was working, QQ was working, Lilly was working, MDB was working, right? Even this Apple 178 puts were working, but then Apple started to bounce. I'll show you later from the yesterday's level. And this is the most important line: log some profit into 10 a.m. trend. I don't know, it's a small profit, big profit, I don't care, because 10 a.m. is that some is the reversals, rejections, continuations. So you have to make up your mind at 10 a.m. scale out some, leave some, right? So QQQ I was also short, so QQQ as well we were short. I was on voice this morning, and QQQ hit 370s, covered some there. Tesla too, when Tesla started bouncing, I started warning about 248, right? The same level. And the MDGL was going lows from there. Then I closed the short. Simple. I closed my short on Tesla right here at 10 a.m. You see, I closed my short, right? Whatever the scratch lows, you're out. Then I said it can push to 250, and where did it go to? It went to 250.99. I said you can long it. I mean, I covered the short, you can long it. So the point is the point is not that we lost money. The point is how we executed. We executed very nicely. We followed our system. If I held the short till here and stopped out here, then I would have destroyed myself, and then I would have spoiled my day. Right? I don't want, because my Lilly trade is working, my check short is working, then why would I mess up here and just hold, just hoping? Because I know one of our members in the room, he held, and I told him, man, it can push higher, it's up to you. He put stops at 250 and he finally stopped out. But guess what? It pulled back after that as well. So just respect it, right? But then I also said, watch the pullback to 248 if you want to long scalp it. And it pulled back to 248, and then it pushed $2 again. So I stopped out, but my mentality was that you can long as well. Then QQQ started to break down on the bear flag this morning right here. QQQ out of 10 a.m. it started to break down further, and then SPY started to break down. So this, you see, this was the SPY QQ short, and it was, so let's see. So VIX was holding up. And then SPY started to break down, and we were on the short. I was on the voice. I said we were on the short. And then, so once it was breaking down, I said we can hold the puts or we can add more at 10:11 a.m. So 10:11 a.m. was right here, right? So 10:11 a.m. was right here. It was the our 1 2 3 fourth candle, and we held here. And then I was locking the Lilly beyond, never gave me a bounce. It was a short idea today. So this was the Lilly setup, guys. Beautiful trade today. So Apple, so this is where I saw Apple bouncing from yesterday's lows as a risk. I was like, it can bounce there. So, and then SPY was still weak, right? So we were holding our put still, and then SPY finally gave us 445. It really gave us nice lows. We were shorting from 446.7. Not a bad trade on SPY as well, those puts. Tesla was pushing. I gave the 251 target. We already met our close to that. So Tesla and Apple were relative strength, and Tesla versus 248 was what we were trying to long, and Apple versus the yesterday's lows. So always find a risk. So my point is, I need to find a risk. When I can find a risk, I can long or short, right? And this is what I said. This is when we start to talk about our VIX strategy. If VIX rejects 18, keep holding long, right? Keep holding long. I want to grab my coffee. So I left, but Lilly was new high, and here were the price alerts going on Tesla. Almost 10 cents from my target on Tesla. That was nice long. You guys saw when I covered my short, I talked about going long, right? Change the bias, go with the system. System tells you go do this, you do that, right? So Apple was kind of still struggling, and QQQ we talked about, hold the put, especially if the 18 breaks, and then QQQ gave us like this low, and that's where we started covering. Check short all day was fade to 10s, that was the target, and MDGL was the short. So then QQQ hit 369. I said cover some, right? SPY hit 445, 41. I said cover some. So if you guys see, I almost bottom ticked on my price alerts. So these are my price alerts. I set them up. And Nvidia was bear flagging at 445, guys. That went, followed through later. So QQQ 370 puts went 100%. So that was our morning trade when the VIX was going up, right? From what was the level I mentioned in the morning? 1740 to 18. VIX went to 17, 14, 18. We showed it SPY and QQQ, made some nice jump change, right? So VIX and SPY and VIX strategy is on my website. I keep saying again and again, this you can go there and see, it's all there. SPY and VIX strategy, other examples on my Twitter as well, right? So Lilly, the option started to stall. Lilly was, my target was 540 then, but the options didn't move much after that, so I was like, it's time to get out. So now my VIX, keep eye on VIX. If VIX rejects 18, market can bounce. If VIX gets over 18, we keep holding the puts. It was that simple, guys, just that simple, right? And then I covered my check short, nice check short, covered $1 per share there. Then Nvidia had some news, and then Nvidia was trying to push, rejected EMA clouds, and then it faded. People traded it nicely. Remember, guys, we have so many breaking news. Our news is fastest in our community, and we catch them, and this was nice fade. Some nice calls on Boeing today. So many talented traders on the trading floor, so over 3450. BA went from 237 to 241, was really good. Okay, now is when we started to play the bounce. Okay, look at here, SPY testing 512 EMA cloud again. This is what it was testing, range break and EMA cloud. At the same time, VIX was rejecting, right? So I said, nice push over 512 EMA. I had closed my short, right? And because it's bullish now. And then Apple at the same time was bouncing from yesterday lows. Then my continuous guidance on VIX rejecting 18 and SPY clockwork, like I always tell you, always show you. So okay, nothing on D-Dog. We talk about D-Dog. And then SPY tried to show me this flat tops breakout setup. I said it can push to 448, and same for QQQ. If you are in the calls or you want to scalp some, look at the chart. I already my price alerts from this reversal hit here, and VIX was fading from 18, so that was our conviction, and we held. And look at where it went all day. The 447 calls went 100%, right? So SPY, boom, and log the profits, right? So I talked about all that. So yeah, 3 cents sort of my target. My target was 448, and it returned from 97, but hit later, but I had covered by that time. I had already covered. So Apple, I was talking about that we can hold for 180. Why? Because VIX was fading, SPY was going higher, QQQ was going higher. That's why the conviction came. You can hold. I gave you the support from yesterday's lows. That's your risk level, right? And look at that bounce, 178 to 180, right? And then Tesla reclaimed 3450, and Tesla was following. Tesla reclaimed 3450 here, and that pushed with the market. There was a nice call today, CRDF on the floor by our experienced traders. CRDF, they gave very early at $2, went to 270. Very
TNGX,
proud, especially William
TNGX,
here. Very proud.
TNGX, TNGX,
So,
TNGX,
right,
TNGX.
something is moving. Okay, let's mute it. So
TNGX,
these are our scanners working.
TNGX.
Always finding plays. So okay guys, so what happened next? And that's it. The VIX kept fading, SPY keep going. So these were our trades, guys. Lilly was a A+ setup, long. Tesla tried to short, took a small loss, long scalps for people. And then there was CHGG short, and then there was a nice SPY and QQ reversals. MDB scalp in the morning idea, that was good. There was a bunch of other ideas. I didn't trade everything, but most of people did. And I did some polls, and I was very happy today that most of people were learning. See, they were learning, and they were nicely green on the puts. 70% of people were nicely green, right? They understood the strategy. So that was very encouraging for me, because when somebody sees what I see, it's, then it's like click, it's like clicks the light bulb for everyone, and that makes me happy. So yeah, I mean, could we have done better today? Yes, we could have done better today. There was nothing out of the gate, but our prep was good today. We weren't on top of everything, but there were not many setups, but we did good. We were watching Netflix, we canceled that. Now tomorrow is a big day. We have to watch Penn we will watch, and bunch of other earnings, CELH. So be ready tomorrow, guys. See you in the pre-market prep. And anybody who's not in the community, come trade with us, come to learn, not for the alerts, but come to learn. I promise you will learn a lot, and you will be consistent, and you will minimize your losses, and I'm happy to help. And one thing more, guys, a lot of you guys were asking about my one-on-ones or mentorships. I don't take many because I don't really have time. I already do a lot of things. But if you go on my website, if you fill up the session form or mentorship form about your situation, then I do talk to a few people at a time. So I have a few slots on the weekend that I can talk to. But keep learning, keep grinding. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you go back, see again and again how SPY and VIX worked, and how did we save the loss on Tesla. Why did Lilly work? Why did MDB scalp work at open? We missed some trades like Sage. We were short yesterday. I was swinging, I covered, but I could have longed over EMA clouds. I did not, so I was pissed about that. But see why these setups work, why everything worked, right? See why we did not touch D-Dog, because it never gave a short setup, and even the long one was a chop. So you need to avoid such setups which can chop you out, right? I mean, if somebody longed versus the pre-market lows, whenever you're trying to long something like this, guys, pre-market low is always your risk. Remember that is your risk. Don't care where you buy. You can buy here, but your risk is always here, right? Or if you buy here, then your risk may be the last low candle of 10 minutes. So yeah, guys, today especially very proud of how people traded in the community, and maybe we'll do better tomorrow. Netflix is setting up. Keep eyes. Bunch of things we will be watching. No swings yet, but there are a bunch of things we are watching, and we'll nail it again tomorrow. Do better, study better, trade better. All right, guys, over and out. Bye.